Cloud services is a big shift from traditional way businesses think about IT resources. Cloud services have particular characteristics and considerations, and in this video we'll be talking about the key concepts and terminologies used in cloud computing world. The first one being high availability. High availability is the ability to keep the services up and running for long periods of time, and the businesses must make sure that there is very little downtime depending on the service in question. The web applications, the databases really cannot afford to have downtime for a long period of time because that will have negative impact on businesses. We spoke about scalability and elasticity in the previous video, but just to reiterate, scalability is the ability to increase or decrease the resources for any given workload. We spoke about an example of the web application that's been bombarded with lots of traffic, and that e-commerce application just eats up the resources on that virtual machine. So you can add additional resources to service a workload, also called as scaling out, or you add additional capabilities to manage an increase in demand to an existing resource, also called as scaling up. Scalability does not have to be done automatically. Elasticity, on the other side, is the ability to automatically or dynamically increase or decrease the resources as needed. Elastic resources match the current needs, and resources are added or removed automatically to meet future demands when it is needed. And this is one of the most advantageous part of cloud computing. A distinction between scalability and elasticity is that elasticity is done automatically. Agility. Agility is the ability to react quickly. Cloud services can allocate and deallocate resources quickly. They are provided on demand through the self-service portal, so vast amounts of computing resources can be provisioned in minutes. There is no manual intervention in provisioning or deprovisioning services. Fault tolerance is the ability to remain up and running even in the event of component or service failure. Typically, redundancy is built into cloud services architecture, and that means that if one component fails, a backup component takes its place. The type of service is said to be tolerant of faults. What is disaster recovery? Disaster recovery is the ability to recover from an event which has taken down a cloud service. Cloud services disaster recovery can happen very quickly with automation and services being readily available to you. Global reach. It means that the cloud services ability to reach the audiences around the globe. Cloud services can have presence in various regions across the globe which you can access, give your presence in those regions, even though you may not have any infrastructure in that region. What is a customer latency capability? Now, if the customers are experiencing slowness with a particular cloud service, they are said to be experiencing some latency. Even though modern fiber optics are fast, it can still take time for services to react to customers' actions if services are not local to the customer. Cloud services have the ability to deploy resources in data centers around the globe, so thereby it will be addressing customers' latency issues. What is predictive cost considerations? We also spoke about this in the previous chapter, but it is the ability of the users to predict what costs they will incur for a particular cloud service. Costs for individual services are made available, and tools are provided to allow you to predict what costs a service will incur. You can also perform analysis based on future growth. Technical skill requirements and considerations. Cloud services can provide and manage hardware and software for workloads. Therefore, getting a workload up and running with cloud services will demand less technical resources than having IT teams build and maintain physical infrastructure for handling the same workload. A user can be expert in the application they want to run without having to need skills to build and maintain the underlying hardware or software infrastructure. Increased productivity is a key feature here, and that's the whole attractive part which most of the consumers are using cloud for. On-site data centers typically require a lot of hardware setup. called as racking and stacking, software patching, and there are several other time-consuming IT management courses. Cloud computing eliminates the need for many of these tasks, so IT teams can actually spend time on achieving more important business goals. Finally, security, and that's not least important. Cloud providers offer a broad set of policies, technologies, controls, and expert technology skills that can provide better security than most organizations can otherwise achieve. The result is strengthened security, which will help to protect data applications and infrastructure from potential threats.